In today's video, I will be doing a 2x2-7x7 relay on the virtual cubes that CS Timer has. If you would like to try the virtual cubes, they are under the timer portion of settings. Then you will want to set what you are entering times with from timer to virtual. You can then select the type of scramble for the cube you want to do to switch between the different cubes. Before filming this video, I had done about 15 3x3 solves and one 7x7 solve, so I was still learning the controls and finding more cool moves that were available on the virtual cubes. I chose to film this video now because I thought it would be cool to kind of get to see me learn and become more comfortable with the controls throughout this video. I was really happy to be able to get the 7x7 in less than 30 minutes, as my first 7x7 solve was about 45 minutes, but my screen recording software maxes out at 30 minutes. The 6x6 solve had a lot fewer mistakes, as I was getting used to the controls and more consistently remembering to move the arrows to change which layers were being turned and not turning the wrong layers. I hit a key I didn't realize I had hit, and I didn't notice it soon enough, so now I have to redo 4 of the centers and all of the edges. Luckily, only the outer parts of the edges had to be redone because the middle 2 edges all stayed paired. This is really nice because with the controls, it's a lot easier to do the outer edges than the inner edges. Hoping for sub 15 on the 6x6, but considering how many times I messed up, I'm really happy with sub 20 minutes. The 5x5 is the first one without the arrows to control which layer I am turning, so I had to really make sure I knew the controls for wide moves, as I could no longer just move the arrows to do wide moves using the keys for non-wide moves. The 5x5 was nice though because it has fewer layers, so it was the first cube that I didn't keep having to pause due to getting confused on which layer I was looking for a piece on. Related to that, I am annoyed that the virtual cubes are fully proportional rather than having the outer edges wider like on a normal cube, because it makes it a lot harder to keep track of what is centers and what is edges. I'm really happy with the final time of 7.5 minutes, as I was only aiming for sub 10, so I beat my goal by a lot. The 4x4 was the first cube that I didn't have to be thinking really hard about the controls, as by this point the controls were starting to become muscle memory. I definitely still made a few misturns on the 4x4, but for the most part I could be doing look ahead rather than thinking about the controls. I was guessing the 4x4 solve would be about 5 minutes, so I was really close in my prediction. I remember that on the 6x6 PL parity was really annoying, so it was nice that since the 4x4 is fewer layers, I could just do M moves for parity rather than having to do 3 R wide 2, then an R which is what I had to do on the 6x6. At the time of filming this video, my PB on virtual 3x3 was about 31 seconds, so I was hoping that in the video I could get a sub 30. Unfortunately, I didn't have very good look ahead on F2L, so even though I had a really lucky OLL, I didn't get sub 30. The PLL was also a G-pump, which I normally just do with muscle memory, so I had to 2-look the PLL by doing a J-pump, then a U-pump. I could have gotten sub 10 on the 2x2, but when doing the PBL I did 2 wrong moves, then had to pause to figure out how to fix what I had just done. The final time for all 6 cubes was 1 hour and 38.38 seconds. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.